All right. So here we are. We're gonna go into the next meditation technique today. And this is not the usual meditation technique. I learned this technique in India when I was there in 2025 last year for a month. And it was like a course called The Magic of Freedom. So as the name already suggests, it was quite a special happening, and it was not any like commercial course that you could just go to in India. It was a thing that just happened once, and it's not gonna happen again. So it was really, I'm so happy that I could participate in that, because it was from a friend of me who I met the year before in India, and it was invite only, so it was only for his friends. And yeah, in this course we practiced this meditation technique in the morning and in the evening for 1 to 2 hours. And beyond that we learned a lot about very deep theory concepts which I cannot possibly explain to you. But we're also not here for that. We're here to go into the meditation, and I think let's just start right into it. So, the meditation that we're going to learn today is a mix between meditation, visualization, and breath awareness. And that's also why it is so powerful, because it's not the usual meditation where you just sit and you're like just in this passive state. It's a kind of an active meditation. So we start by looking at the basics of this technique. And the basic is simply that I'm going to explain it to you right now, and then we will close the eyes and go into it. So we put the hands in front of our rib cage. So on the height of our solar plexus, just naturally, the elbows are just in a normal 90-degree angle here. And then, if we now inhale, you can already see my rib cage is expanding. And with the exhale, we're just naturally falling in. And what we do now in this practice is that we mirror the rhythm of our breath with our hands. So when we inhale, the hands are expanding and moving away from each other, and the same is for the fingers as well. So the fingers are spreading and the hands are also moving away from each other with the inhale. And then with the exhale, naturally the hands are coming together and the fingers are also relaxing. So this is the foundation for the practice. Inhale and exhale. So let's get into it. I'm going to guide you through this process now, and if you have any questions, then just come to me afterwards. Okay, close your eyes, meet your palms in front of your chest, and now we start by rubbing the palms onto each other. And we inhale and we move the hands away from each other. So we arrive in this practice and we start to mirror the breath with our hands. So we inhale, the hands are moving apart, and we exhale, the hands are coming together again. Just naturally following the rhythm of the breath. And then we start to bring our awareness into our palms. Maybe you can feel slight tingling on the inside of your palms. So we just, for now, simply keep mirroring the breath with our hands. We really tune into this breathing rhythm and naturally follow it through with our hands. And now we can imagine that we bring our whole awareness, our whole attention on the inside of our palms. So we can literally feel this tingling in between our hands. And we can feel how the hands are expanding with the rib cage and contracting and relaxing with the exhale. And now, as we have the whole attention in between our hands, we are finding the spot right between our hands in the middle, while we keep breathing, expanding and contracting naturally with the breath. And when we found this single spot between our both palms in front of our solar plexus, we try to anchor the awareness around this little point. And we can imagine this little point as a little seed that we plant right now. A little seed of awareness. And this is the entry point for our meditation today. And now we give this little plant, this little seed, some more awareness with every breath. And we can now visualize how it grows into a little ball. When we inhale, when we expand the hands, this little point gets a little bit bigger and it grows into a little ball. So we can really visualize this little point of energy, this little seed growing a little bit with every inhale, getting a little bit bigger. And with every exhale, it's getting smaller again. So it is really vibrating, really rhythmically tuning into this whole breathing rhythm that we are in. And we can use our visualization, our mind, to tune into this little seed, this little ball of energy that is hovering right in front of us. And we are right now creating and nurturing this little ball of energy in front of us. Our whole awareness is in our breath, is in our hands, is hovering in front of us. And from here, we have now created this quantity of energy in front of us, and we made this little ball alive. What is now missing is the quality, right? We have added a quantity there. We created a quantity of energy, a little ball of energy that is growing with every inhale. And now we can add a quality and intention into this. And you can basically add whatever you want. But to start, the foundation I always choose is the intention: may my practice be of benefit of all living beings, and may the path of light guide and protect us. And now you can add whatever quality, whatever intention you want into this little ball. This is whatever you want to bring more into your life in this present moment. Can be courage, can be gratitude, can be just the deeper connection with yourself, loving awareness. Whatever it is, invite it into your space, into your ball. And we continue growing this ball a little bit bigger. Now it's almost touching our hands. When we inhale, it's expanding and we can almost feel the surface of the ball at our hands. And now we take a big inhale, and then after the inhale we pause for 1 second after the inhale. And when we exhale, we slowly move the hands a little bit closer together and pause there as well. And now we imagine that we can take this ball in front of us that is hovering there, and we move it into our belly, into what the Chinese call our dantian. It's the first of 3 dantians, and in our belly, in our abdomen, is the physical dantian. It's the physical center of our being, of our presence. So after we take a moment and really feel how we put this intention, this ball of energy into our physical center, into our solar plexus. And then we come back to the position where we start with the hands, and we go back to that natural rhythm of breath. And now we continue being connected to that ball, and we can feel how we breathe through this ball. But instead of being in between our hands, the ball is now in our solar plexus, in our center. And by that, we can see how this ball is becoming like a ball of presence that is expanding through our whole body. And it is as we would breathe through every pore of our skin. We are now breathing through this ball. And our hands are really the tuning fork. Our hands are the tool that we use to tune into that breath, to tune into that visualization of this ball of energy that is expanding with the inhale, so it is almost fully covering us, and with the exhale it's growing smaller again into our center. Now we are living and we are breathing this quality of light, of love, of awareness. And we can really check in. We are now making a little journey through our being, through our awareness, and we start with the physical dimension. We feel into our body, and we see what is present on the physical dimension right now. How is my body really feeling? Is there some tension in my back or in my neck? Are my legs starting to get numb? Or whatever else you feel. It can also be a pleasant sensation. It can be a very light feeling because you're so deep into this meditation. But whatever it is, just observe. No judgment. It can be positive, it can be negative. These are only labels. Right now it's just about awareness. And we now add another dimension to this. You already had it for one breath when we paused after the inhale. So now after the next inhale, when you're at the maximum point, we pause for 2 or 3 seconds and we tune into this little breath hold. And then we exhale, we bring the hands closer together, we relax the fingers, and also here we pause and we start from now on to tune into the space between the inhalation and the exhalation. So make the pause feel very natural. We want to not control, we want to move with the breath and naturally give the breath a pause in between inhale and exhale, so we can dive deeper into the present moment. And what we will do now after the big inhalation, we will drop one dimension. We will leave the physical dimension behind and we move up into the next layer, into the layer of the emotional dimension, into the astral dimension, which literally means that we slow down the movement of the hands, we slow down the breath, and you can now feel that your hands are almost moving like through some thick honey. There's this electromagnetic field now between your hands. You can really feel it because you're so fine-tuned to the breath, to the present moment. And then we inhale again. And also with the inhale, we can feel the sticky honey on the outside of the palms. We can really feel how we tune into this field of astral fluid that is surrounding us. And by now, we can switch to long exhales through the mouth. So we inhale through the nose. And we exhale through the mouth, making a slight sound. And everything is just in the feeling, in the moment. Congratulations, you just entered the astral plane. So from here, we check in again. What is present on this deeper dimension of reality? What is present in my astral body, which is the part of me that is responsible for feeling deeply this reality? So stay here for a few more breaths and really feel how suddenly your hands are moving with this slight sticky honey around, with this slow motion, with this full field of presence around you. And we can get back to that center of ours, to that ball of energy that is still breathing with us. And don't forget the little pauses between the inhale and the exhale and the inhale, because with these pauses, these are the portals to enter even deeper into this moment. Beautiful. And a little fun fact, the physical dimension is where we have time and space. But as we just entered the astral dimension, we left behind time. And this is why suddenly the movement got so slow. And you feel so intensely. Because we left behind this time dimension and we are fully here in the present moment, feeling it, being in it. And here now we check in. How do I actually feel honestly right now? What is present emotionally for me? This is where you can really check. How do I truly feel? What are the emotions that are coming up again and again lately? What have I been avoiding? And continuing now, giving us one last deep breath to really check in with this dimension. And then we take a deep inhale, we pause after the inhale, and now we enter the mental space. And suddenly our hands are almost not moving at all. We're having a slight movement towards each other with the exhale, and a very gentle movement away from each other with the inhale. But in the mental dimension, we also leave space behind, because the mental dimension is beyond time and space. So try to just visualize the movement of this energy ball, but your hands are almost not moving at all. You're feeling very sensitive how there's this tiny rhythm and breath movement through your hands that is still mirroring the ribcage and the breath. But this mental plane of existence, maybe you have heard this phrase, the universe is mental. Everything that we experience is just a mental reflection of our mind. So we have infinity at our hand right now. And we can even imagine now this ball of energy with the inhale, it really expands into the infinite cosmos. It goes beyond the earth, beyond all the stars, in a lightning speed. And with the exhale, it comes back to our center. Just breathe a little bit with that. Always try to stay with the visualization of the ball of energy through your breath, expanding into the infinite with the inhale, and with the exhale it's coming back to your center. Now we have journeyed through 3 dimensions of our body, right? These are the 3 centers of intelligence within our body. It's the body sensations, it's the emotional feelings, and it's the mental thoughts. And all of these we have aligned now in the present moment. Just bringing all the mental capacity here to your breath, focusing on your own presence, on your own being. And now it's very simple. We can simply imagine that we look up. I mean, there's no up and down in that sense, but looking beyond, seeing the field of awareness and the consciousness that is the witness of these three dimensions, right? This is something to remember, that we are the witness of our experience. And now we add the meta perspective. We start to witness the witness itself. We start to observe the observer. And we see on one side these three intelligence centers that we have been breathing with right now. And on the other side, we see ourselves, the pure presence, the pure awareness, the consciousness that animates everything in our life. Without this consciousness, we would not be able to reflect on our thoughts, on our emotions. And this is the source. This is the connection to the greater source. And now you can imagine, bring your awareness also again a little bit into your hands. Bring back the ball that you're visualizing and breathing with. And feel how you're breathing with every pore of your body through this ball. And you're directly connected to the source, to the joy, to the abundance, to the freedom, and to the deep, deep peace within your heart. Because your heart and your breath are the portals to this deeper underlying layer of reality. From here, we can stay in this deep state of presence for as long as we want. This is actually what I recommend you to do before you enter meditation. What we did here is, we can call it a meditation, yes, but what we basically did, if we go by the exact definition, we simply concentrated on certain parts of our reality, and we focused our attention in specific areas. And from here, we can really go into deep meditation. So that is one option, to just pause the video, put the hands on the knees, and just stay in this state and see what comes to you. See what your pure being has to share with you. And if you want to finish this meditation now together with me, then bring your awareness back into your hands and start to really feel the tips of your fingers, and slowly bring your palms closer together. Make your fingertips point towards each other, like almost like you're having this eagle claw. So it's like you're really forming the ball between your hands, and you're slowly moving your fingertips closer to each other, so they're almost touching. Really, each finger in front of each other. Your fingers are spread, but they're like an eagle claw or like a tiger claw. And the closer you bring the finger together, if it's like at some point you're just having like maybe 1 centimeter between your fingertips, and then you will feel something very magical. You should perceive some kind of force that is pushing your fingers actually away from each other. And there we have again this beautiful electromagnetic energy that is the source of all living creatures here. We can really feel it if you move your fingers a little bit towards each other and away from each other, just like playing, pushing. And then take a deep inhale. And I also invite you to smile a little bit, and then to finish this off, bring some intention, some quality from your heart into your hands. Bring them into this ball. And then after you have added that, it can be joy, it can be abundance, it can be inner peace, full acceptance of my life, my situation, and loving myself deeply. If we have put all of that into this ball, now we slowly move the fingertips so they touch each other one by one. And then we move with the hands towards our solar plexus, and we really move this energy into our body. And we hold with our hands on our chest, on our belly for a few seconds. Taking another deep breath. And then rubbing the palms one final time onto each other. And putting the hands on top of your eyes, feeling the warmth, feeling the energy, the magic that you just created. And welcome back. Take your time, open your eyes again. What a journey that was. That was probably longer than expected. Oh yeah, I see. 30 minutes. But it's worth to go deep, right? All right. Give me your feedback. I want to hear how you liked it. What was good? What needs to be better explained? But